Toilet guards. In Treblinka, 2 Jewish prisoners were assigned to guard the camp's latrines. Yes, this really happened. They wore old rabbis' robes, whips in hand, alarm clocks around their necks. Their task? Make sure no one spent more than 2 minutes on the toilet. The Nazis called them the Scheiß Kommando. It might sound like some grotesque comedy, but it wasn't a joke. It was just one piece of a much bigger system of humiliation, control, and psychological torment that the Nazis called culture. Let's rewind a bit and set the stage. Treblinka was a Nazi death camp in occupied Poland. Every day, thousands of people arrived there, and nearly all of them were dead within hours. Roughly 99% were sent straight to the gas chambers. The unlucky few who were spared were selected to work. Their job? To help the Germans run the killing machine, cleaning up their own filth, as the Nazis put it, dragging corpses, sorting luggage, keeping the camp running. Most of them didn't last more than a few weeks. They died from exhaustion, starvation, or the next random selection. All the while, they breathed in the stench of rotting and burning bodies, often their own families. But for the Nazis, this wasn't enough. They wanted total control, total domination. And they noticed something. The latrines, one of the few places where prisoners could rest for a moment, were being used a little too much. So, they came up with a solution. They appointed 2 Scheiß Kapos, toilet capos, and they were very deliberate in their choice. Survivor Richard Glazar described them like this. One was a dwarf, balding, clearly slow-witted, maybe mentally impaired. The other one was massive, roughly carved, almost grotesque. A sign was put up outside the latrine. Only 2 minutes to take a dump. Anyone who takes longer will be thrown out. The small Scheiß Capo took his job seriously. After 2 minutes, he would try to drag people out. But he was so tiny, no one listened. The SS guards would peek through the cracks in the walls and laugh as he screamed and flailed, completely ignored. The big capo, on the other hand, didn't care. He let prisoners rest in peace. His latrine became a meeting point, even for members of the resistance. But the humiliation didn't stop there. Let's talk about music. In the fall of 1942, a famous Jewish violinist and composer, Artur Gold, arrived in the camp. The Nazis forced him to form an orchestra. The camp tailors were ordered to make uniforms, but not just any uniforms. The musicians were dressed like clowns, white jackets with huge blue lapels and oversized bow ties, striped pants, and shiny patent leather shoes. Dressed like that, they were forced to play classical music during roll call. At those same roll calls, SS officers would announce how many people had died that day. They also carried out punishments, both for real offenses and made-up ones. 25, 50, even more lashes. The victims had to count the lashes out loud. If they made a mistake, the count started over. Afterward, with their backs torn open and bleeding, they had to stand straight and thank the guard who whipped them. If anyone showed weakness, they were executed on the spot. Even 14-year-old boys were whipped this way. And when they screamed for their mothers between lashes, even hardened men cried. After a day like that, witnessing beatings, killings, degradation, the prisoners were forced to stand and listen to music. No rest, no silence, just music. Music like Cavalleria Rusticana, which you're hearing now. And then there were the Sunday shows. Sunday afternoons were the only time in the week when there was no work. Everyone was forced to gather for entertainment. Boxing matches were common. Prisoners who had no idea how boxing worked were made to fight until they bled all over the place. Even the two shaiskapos were forced to box each other. After the fights came comedy. Richard Glaser described a performance by a camp comedian named Willie. He pretended to read an ad in the newspaper promoting the Treblinka spa. It advertised regular baths, a healthy diet, and excellent train connections. The SS officers sat in chairs and laughed. The prisoners, standing, exhausted, and humiliated, watched in silence. And then came the weddings. Yes, weddings. One day, the SS decided they wanted to see a traditional Jewish wedding. Prisoners had a week to find partners. On Sunday, a wedding procession marched across the camp. A prisoner couple, both known informants, stood beneath a ceremonial canopy and exchanged vows. They were married by a religious capo named Meyer. The orchestra played festive tunes. It was the Nazis' twisted way of mocking everything that once held meaning. But the worst insult came in the form of the camp anthem. The melody was borrowed from Buchenwald, where Deputy Commander Kurt Franz had served before. The lyrics praised life in Treblinka. Prisoners were forced to sing it daily. They ended every evening roll call with this song. SS man Franz Suchomel later sang the anthem in Claude Lanzmann's documentary Shoah.
Fest im Schritt und Tritt und der Blick geradeaus. Immer fest und fest an die Welt geschaut. Marschieren Kommandos zur Arbeit. Für uns gibt's heute nur Treblinka, das unser Schicksal ist. Drum haben wir uns auf Treblinka eingestellt in kurzer Frist. Wir kennen nur das Wort der Kommandanten und nur Gehorsamkeit und Pflicht. Wir wollen weiter leisten, bis das kleine Glück uns einmal winkt. Hurra! Sind Sie zufrieden? Das ist ein Original. Es kann kein Jude heute mehr.
Even the look of the camp became part of the humiliation. In spring 1943, deportations temporarily stopped. The Germans needed something for the prisoners to do, so they ordered them to beautify the camp. Lawns were planted, flowers arranged. Wooden signs popped up at intersections. To the ghetto, to the baths, to the zoo. Yes, there was even a zoo. A little building where the SS kept squirrels and other small animals. Shops got colorful signs. Everything was designed to look like a peaceful village. It was a trap meant to calm the nerves of new arrivals. A lie wrapped in flowers. And yet, even in this place, even in hell, some humanity remained. In the evenings, prisoners would secretly gather in the tailor's shop, the largest indoor space in the camp. They sang, they drank, they danced. Sometimes, even a mild SS guard or Ukrainian would stop by. Glaser remembers a dancing contest between a Jewish prisoner and a Ukrainian guard, both trying to outdo each other in the Russian Kozachok dance. Religious prisoners like Capo Meyer led prayer services. They recited the Kaddish, the Jewish prayer for the dead. In those rare moments, they were able to forget, just for a second, where they were. But morning always came, and with it, the killing machine started up again. The beatings, the selections, the gas. In the next episode, we'll take a closer look at the selections themselves.